Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Muhammad Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Felix Velarde. Felix is CEO, author, and chairman of a heavyweight agency. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Felix Velarde. Felix,
Thank,
welcome.
thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Oh, wow. Well, I started my first career by accident. I started one of the world's first web design companies in 1994. And I had a 22-year career as a digital pioneer and a serial founder. I made every single mistake that you can possibly make. I realized that my early career was full of failure, full of fear of failure, actually. And that held me back. And it took me years and years and years to get past trial and error and become really successful. And then I retired when I was 47. I founded 2Y3X in order to help other founders like me to scale their businesses fast. And then I wrote a book, Scale at Speed, which is the manual for how you scale businesses fast. And I love what I do. I'm a very happy, lucky man, I guess.
What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
Oh, it's really difficult to pick just 3 because there are so many. But the first, don't work with C players. Don't work with people who are not engaged, fully engaged with your business. You want to be surrounded by superstars. C players aren't bad. They don't share your core values and your business's values. There'll probably be A players somewhere else. So move them on as fast as you can. Second thing is get your proposition right. Be absolutely crystal clear about what it is that you deliver for your clients. In my case, I've got 2 propositions. I've got the book, Scale at Speed, which delivers scale at speed. And I've got my consulting firm, 2Y3X, which in 2 years, 2Y, triples revenue, 3X. So it does what it says on the tin. Proposition is absolutely critical. Otherwise, nobody knows what you stand for. And finally, price for your value. Don't price for the dollar amount or whatever. If you're going to deliver serious value, price for that serious value. My company doubles or triples revenue. Who cares what it costs? If it's going to double or triple your revenue in a couple of years, who cares? Price for value. Don't price for competing with somebody else, or because it's got a 7 in it, or because it's $1 less or whatever. Price for the value deliver, and people take you seriously.
You said don't hire C players. There are A players waiting. What happened to the B players? I didn't even hear them.
Well, B players you work on, right? But you work on them by actually focusing your attention on A players. If you focus on the superstars, the B players will want to be superstars and they'll work harder. If you focus on the B players, the A players will want to be B players and the C players will be, and you're lost. You want everybody to aspire to be an A player. Simple, really.
Okay, someone doesn't know what's ABC mean. Just that gives you the opportunity to explain everything in 20 seconds or less each one.
Yeah, sure. An A player is somebody who's in the top 90%, top 10% of candidates who can do the job as specified. You want people who are super, super engaged, really smart, really care about your business, conform to your values, agree with your values. They can be as diverse as anything you like. It doesn't matter where they're from, what their background is. Doesn't matter what color they are, what orientation they are. It doesn't matter. What matters is they share your values and they share your vision. Because if they do, then they'll be with you and they'll work with you and for your business. And if you want to grow your business, then you want everybody playing in the same direction, right?
That's A. Talk about B and C as well.
C players, just the opposite of that. People who are completely disengaged, don't care, not present. They're marking time. B players are people who take their job quite seriously and they're okay and they're reasonably reliable, but they're not superstars. You want to try and transform your B players into superstars. And you do that by creating a culture that's amazing, by creating a vision that they really aspire to be part of. And that's about your role as a leader. Leaders are there to inspire and to create culture that makes people want to work there. That's your job.
Okay, follow up to a follow up. How do you write a copy of our ad to say, I'm looking for A player. I say, what's mean A mean? They have no clue what that means. So how do you write an ad to recruit A players?
Describe what the job actually requires. And I don't mean list all of the stuff that you've got to do day to day, right? List the outcomes, right? If you are hiring for, I don't know, a key account manager, for example, the job of a key account manager is to grow our client revenue by 50% year on year, right? If you can evidence that you can do that, apply for this job. If you can't, it's not the job for you. And you're not the person for us, and we're not the company for you. We're demanding, right? So ask people for evidence, write a scorecard, be clear up front what you want. This isn't just, come to us if you're really great. This is come to us if you can deliver exactly what we need you to deliver.
Okay. What are your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Oh God, I've had so many failures. I've done everything wrong that you could possibly do wrong. Most companies are on the back foot. Most leaders are on the back foot. They're reactive, right? And what happens is you get this feast and famine. You sort of, oh, it's all going brilliantly. Well, we'll slow down our marketing because, we can't handle any more work. And then the work dries up and then you've got to reboot your marketing. And it's this thing called piloted induced oscillation. You're just sort of trying to adjust all the time and you can never get it right. Okay. And the risk is you screw up and it all falls to pieces. And I had an experience where our biggest client moved to another agency. And I sat there thinking, do you know what? It's fine. I've got brilliant staff. They're all amazing. We'll wait until we win another client. And then 6 months later, we were that close to going bust because we still had a full team, but no work. And I'd used up all the cash. It was crazy. So I learned very quickly you need to be on the front foot the whole time, right? You need to be ahead of the game. Do your client satisfaction surveys. Know when the client's not happy or when they need something that's different to you. Be absolutely, build your crystal ball and make sure that it works. And then assemble the right team, get their buy-in. And when we did that, we started looking far forward and started doing predictive stuff and got the buy-in of the team. We then doubled the revenue in a year. And that became the kernel of this process that we now have, the 2Y3X program, that is there. It's a structured formula based program to double and triple revenue, and it works a treat.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
There are a couple of really, really interesting scientific theories and a couple of really interesting tools that are worth getting your head around. One is Edwin Locke's goal setting theory. Edwin Locke's a researcher and scientist, and he's in his 80s or 90s now. But he came up with something called goal setting theory, which basically says the tougher the goal you set, the more likely you are to create a plan to achieve the goal. And if you've got a plan and you stick to it, then guess what? You're going to achieve the goal more often than not. If you don't set a plan, you're not going to achieve anything, right? There's another 2 authors, Kaplan and Norton, wrote a book a few decades ago now called Balanced Scorecard. And it's about how you nest KPIs and how you motivate people. And it's a brilliant piece of work. And those 2 theoretical frameworks became actually 2 of the core pieces of work underlying the 2Y3X program, which is why we guarantee our results. Mm-hmm. You asked for 3 success stories, I think. Yeah. The second is get total buy-in from your team. There are ways of doing it. If you don't have the total buy-in of your team, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to be shouting at people and telling people to hurry up and so on. If it's just you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be stressed out. Your spouse is going to be carrying all of the burden, and it's going to be horrible, right? So you need to get your team on side, and there are ways of doing it. And we spend a lot of our time doing complex team coaching around this area to make sure that the team is carrying the business, and that should liberate you to make strategic decisions. So I think my third is entirely self-interested and cynical, but my third tip is join a structured program, right? Whether it's 2Y3X, obviously I think that's the best, but then I would. But join a structured program that will give you these frameworks and then will hold your feet to the flames so that you actually achieve your grandest goals and ambitions. Because if you don't, and you try and do it yourself, you're going to go back, you're going to be falling back into this feast and famine because there's always an excuse. So having somebody external to hold you to account, really, really important.
We are about to move into lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
What are you grateful for today?
My wife, my life, and people who share my values.
How young are you?
53.
Felix, you are not 53. You are 18 years old with 35 years experience.
Excellent.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I want to take away the fear of failure for business owners so that founders can stop focusing on the trial and error and start focusing on how to change the world, because we're in this amazing opportunity at the moment where we can change the world, and business shouldn't be getting in the way of it. We've known how to run businesses exactly like this for 170 years. You don't need to be doing trial and error in order to be successful.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Step back, think it through, ask my wife, same as us all, right?
How do you start your day?
Coffee. Probably a third coffee as well.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
Get healthier quicker. I only learned how to run during lockdown. I did couch to 5K last year. And I have to say, it's been amazing. And I'm in my 50s and I'm healthier than I've ever been. So I'd probably get healthier quicker.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Inna has faith. Thankfully, she has faith. I have faith in her. She's amazing. My wife she has 3 degrees. She's got an MBA. She's got a master's in law. She's an amazing actress. And I don't try and tell her what to do, but I ask her advice the whole time.
What is the impactful business book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Now this is interesting because I've read, I went on a speed reading course 15 years ago, and so I've read hundreds and hundreds of books. This book is amazing. It's called Scarcity: The New Science of Having Less and How It Defines Our Lives, and it's by Millen and Shafir. And it's about the bandwidth tax that poverty brings and imposes. And it's a reminder that most people in the world actually don't have the luxury of space and time to think things through. So it's a reminder to us, who are the privileged ones, that if we do have that time and space, then think it through, create a life for ourselves, create happiness as much as we can for ourselves, but also use that time and space to benefit those people who don't have that luxury. Because we are in a privileged position, and I think it's really, really important that we try and make the world a better place.
Why being why being impactful is important to you?
I don't know. I can help people. It pleases me to do so. I teach at places like Help Business School, and I do pro bono work, and we've got pro bono built into the way that 2Y3X works. But when people shared stuff with me, and people were kind to me when I was growing up and working my way through my career and making all of these mistakes, those kind people really, really had an impact. And if I can have 100th of the impact that they had on me on somebody else, then that would be a fabulous thing.
Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
So I used to have a mentor called Charles Llewellyn, who taught me everything I know in business. He's an awesome man, 6'9", just a towering intellect and towering person, actually. And I was in touch with him a couple of days ago because I've dedicated part of the book to him. I currently have a coach, not a mentor, a guy called Tim Deason, who's an ex-client. He brought his company into the 2Y3X program, and they sold, and it made him a millionaire, multimillionaire, and it's brilliant. But he's now my coach, which is fabulous. So we've turned our roles around, and he's making my business even better. He's an amazing person. So yeah, having a mentor at the moment, having a coach is just, I don't know, it's an essential thing. You need somebody to hold a mirror up to you.
I like to interview your mentor. Can you make an introduction, please?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for?
Being a kind friend.
Who is your ideal client?
Oh, a founder who's hit a plateau, really, really wants to grow their business fast, maybe 20 or 70 people in their company, ambitious, frustrated, feels like it's all on their shoulders, really wants to grow but needs expert help from the outside. That's my ideal client. Somebody who's smart and determined and really wants it, but is ready to be shown how to do it and to be helped to do it.
How can we support you?
Visit 2y3x.com. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, please visit 2y3x.com. If you want to know how to grow your own company, buy a copy of the book Scale at Speed from Amazon. But yeah, did I say visit 2y3x.com already?
Yeah. We're about to wrap up. I'd like to have your few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
It's cool. Do you know what? You come across as being a genuinely lovely, focused, kind, caring man. And so even things like that, I mean, this is quite stressful, right? You know, anybody going on live stream and shows like this and doing PR. Thank you for making it not stressful, but it's thought-provoking. I love the questions that you came up with, so thank you.
What would you say as a final word?
Thanks for having me on, but get your people involved. This is about culture and your core values. If you understand your personal values, it'll make everything so much easier. And did I actually mention go to 2y3x.com and you can find out all about me and us and the book and everything. But yeah, thank you very much indeed. This has been a great experience.
Thank you so much, Felix, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.